guys, you can't come in this way. Oh, hello. Hello, let's find your person. I'm part of the artwork. Hi, welcome. I just had a small visitor. I don't know if anybody saw that. A child just emerged at the back of my bedroom. Whoa, it's like my dreams. Things like that happen in my dreams. Welcome. My name's Emily, and welcome to my bedroom here at Mona. What a strange thing to say. I'd like to start by acknowledging and paying my deep respect to the traditional owners and custodians of this land, country that we meet on today, Lutruwita, Tasmania. I'd also like to express my sincere and unwavering gratitude to Mona for having me. I'm in week 4 of my residency here at the moment. And as the time goes, at the beginning I knew, this is something pretty special. But as the time ticks away, that feeling just builds. And I really can't believe I get to be here, making new stuff in this space every day. And in fact, kind of living here. It's a pretty weird, mind-bending experience. So I normally start these performances by just giving a little bit of context to what this is. So basically, I live in Launceston. I'm a harpist, and I compose music. And I've been here before on a more kind of normal residency situation where you come at the beginning of the day, you compose music, you perform it, and then you leave and go back to normal life in between. But then I had this idea that I wanted to meld my performance and composition life with my sleep life, which is exciting in a not very good way because I have a sleep disorder that really impacts a great deal on my life. I have a lot of terrors, a lot of really awful dreams. I sleepwalk a lot, I sleep talk a lot, I have a lot of panics, and I spend a lot of time when I'm coming out of my dreams in this kind of halfway place where the feelings I have are so strong and powerful, almost more so than I can ever achieve during my waking hours. And I have a lot of confusion about what's real and what's not. And it's just pretty crummy. And I thought, I've spent all my life trying to just sort of ignore it and hope that it will go away. But then I had this idea of maybe I just need to really sit in it and see what happens. So here I am, living here. This is my bed. It's a really good bed. It's so comfortable. Thanks, Mona, for that. Nicest sheets I've ever slept in. I wonder if they'll let me take them with me. Probably not. But yeah, I'm sleeping here, and the whole thing is being live streamed, which initially was deeply uncomfortable. Can you imagine having a camera that anybody can look at, watching you sleep? It's pretty weird. The idea of the live stream is really for documentation, so I can see in the morning, I can look back and see if I've done any walking. And then I have a sleep talk recorder to capture what, the noise that I make in the night. And then I compose to it during the day. It's been a very intense experience, more so than I ever could have anticipated. I've had feelings of fear, let's just put it that way. And it really surprised me. I thought I was going to cruise through. No, not so. It's been very challenging, but also good. So I've been writing lots of words up on this wall here as I go. It was initially intended that I would write my dreams on this wall, but for the first couple of weeks, I couldn't remember any of my dreams. It was like my body was in this kind of terror-filled lockdown situation and nothing happened. I was just, hiding in my cave behind me here, this bed with the curtains closed. So I've just been writing my thoughts and feelings up here. So, any questions about that before we continue? If you think of anything as we go, I'm happy to take questions. The first thing I'd like to share with you was a thing that I made this morning. I actually was awake very early this morning. I set my alarm for 2:55 a.m. And imagine in this space, it's really pretty dark at night, the space you're all in. Pretty dark, not many lights. And there's nobody here apart from me. I'm alone. I'm under security surveillance, which is very reassuring, I have to say. I have a 2-way radio, so I can talk to them if I'm feeling concerned about anything, but basically I'm alone. And I decided, in an effort to try and access my dream life, I decided to wake up and deliver a performance of all of my dreams, like describing them with words set to music, just improvised to no one at night. It was on the live stream as well, but not many people are awake at that time. And I didn't actually look to see if anybody was with me there, but I did it. And it was a really weird experience. But the first thing I'd like to share with you is a thing really sharing with you and speaking my really good dreams, because the greatest surprise of this experience so far is that I'm sleeping really well. Doesn't normally happen. I haven't really been sleepwalking. I've done one little nighttime activity, which actually happened last night. I adjusted the curtains on my bed to close them just a bit more. And I've been having some really good dreams. And I think I could count on my two hands the number of times in my life that I've had a really good dream. And my definition of a good dream is where the feelings and emotions are tangible. When the dreams are bad, the feelings are so bad and so real. I have lots of nonsense dreams where it's just not really anything, but I hardly ever have any really good dreams. So I want to describe for you my 4 dreams. It's really all I can think of and remember in terms of good dreams. So I'll take you there. And then I'm going to invite my friend Bert here to join me for a thing that we've made today, but I'll talk more about that shortly. And thanks for being here with me. Cultivate your questions while we go. I'm going to move in and out of the bed area because I've got all my dreams written up on the wall inside there. So if you see me crawl into bed, I'm just going to have a look at what I can see to help jog my memory. It's funny, isn't it, how we kind of lose our memory of what we've dreamed? It's so weird. It's like a whole other life. I'm walking along a coast. It's the mouth of a river, a wide river. And I'm walking. It's a narrow beach. I can see the land on the other side. As I walk along, there are rocks. There's some grass at some points coming right down to the water. And as we walk along, it's feeling like a nice adventure. Our destination is a cabin, and it takes us quite a while to get there, some hours. But when we get there, we feel so at home. It's a place of comfort. And it's really good to be there, although we can't stay. We can only stay for a while. I'm there with a good friend, and it feels good. And then eventually we have to turn around and make our way along the coast to go back home. I'm walking along a coast. It's the mouth of a river, a wide travelling along a dark, and I'm walking dark, it's a narrow beach. There's a tinge of red. I can see the land on the other side. It's a dark tunnel. I am rocks on my own, but there are other people in the space at some point, and it feels really ominous. As we walk along, I don't feel safe. I'm being watched. I'm not sure what to make of it, but as I move through, I know I have something that I need to do. I don't know what it is, but when I have something I need to do, so at home. It's a place of comfort. And then I realise I don't need to be there, although we can't stay. I don't like this. We can only stay for a while. I could choose to leave. I'm there with a good friend. Is it even real? And it feels good. And then eventually I can choose to leave. I have to turn around. I don't have to stay here. Make our way along the coast to go back home. I had this dream when I was very young. I'm walking, maybe 5, walking along the coast. It's the most beautiful waterfall, mouth of a river, a wide green, everywhere was green. Narrow beach. There's a tinge of red. I can see the land on the other side. And at the top of the waterfall, it's a calm, wide, tall waterfall. On my own, but there are other people in the space. And I could float down the waterfall like a water slide, but not land in the pool at the bottom, just glide up the path. I'm not sure forest destination, but as I move through, I know I have something that I need to do. I don't know what it is. Float up the path just to do it again, and I had other people. Most wonderful feeling of elation. And then I realise I don't need to be there, or happy. I don't like this. Happy dream. We can only stay. I could choose to leave. I'm there with a good friend. Is it even real? and it feels good. And then eventually I can choose to leave, to turn around. I don't have to stay here, make our way along the coast to go back home. I'm on a beautiful coast. There are rocks, the stream when I was very around me. I'm walking. They're soaring and there's golden light and beautiful, huge waves. The most beautiful waterfall. Huge waves, they're gentle. They rise up so green everywhere. Coming at me from a beach. There's right in front and behind the land on the other side. And at the top of the waterfall, it's calm, wide, tall waterfall. On my own, but there are other people in the space, and it feels really ominous. As we walk along, I don't feel safe. I'm being watched. Our destination is a cabin, and it takes us quite a while to get there, some hours. But when we get there, we feel so at home. It's a place of comfort. I feel warm. I feel safe. Thanks. It's a weird experience sharing like the things that you think in your head that you don't normally share with other people. It's easy to kind of start feeling a bit stupid about it. Like, what even is this? But it's sort of empowering for me. I'm really keen to leave my bad dreams behind and focus on the good stuff and see if I can try and channel that happening a little bit more. Anyway, I'd like to welcome my friend Bert. He actually was the person that was with me in that first dream that I described, interestingly. So we walked along that coast together. Thanks for coming on a walk with me, Bert. It was nice.
My pleasure.
I enjoyed it.
I wish I had the same memories.
Bert is a storyteller, otherwise known as Storyteller Spinks. He's voiceless at the moment because his microphone's ready for other things. But we've collaborated together on a number of things over the last few years, and I invited him to join me in the space today. He's actually been my only collaborator so far, so you're very lucky. Hope you appreciate it. I'm a bit of a control freak. I like to do things my own way, in my own time. But I do enjoy a collaboration when conditions are right. So we've made a thing today, and we were discussing, well, maybe we talk about it afterwards. Let's just do it first, do you think? Yep.
Sounds good.
Great.
Not yet.
Remember to cultivate those questions. I promise I will play the harp at some stage. You'll have to be patient.
Two lips of mudstone form an aperture deep in the rainforest, painted yellow with lichen, uneven, cracked, guarding a mouth that becomes a gorge into an underworld. You have taken me here. Parted fern fronds and a welter of supple branches far within the shadows. You are quite the guide. You dragged me here along a rutted track that peters out late into the thickest scrub. Made me crawl through holloways of bracken and brush. And now you've beckoned me into the cave. Somewhere in the deepest part, you hum. Somewhere in the deepest part. Somewhere in the deepest part. Somewhere there are stars. To say I trust you is not quite right. It is more that I have no choice, that my mind has softened to the point that it has little willpower left. And though my muscles ache, they're weak, they hurt, I follow you in, and darkness swallows me whole. I know the confines of the cave actually close me in. Its shape a cramped cloister. I feel the damp stone breathe. Its scent is that of childhood. But darkness expands the unknown universe. All is shadow. And from shadows come the monsters. You reach behind you and grab my hand to make sure I don't turn back. You say, somewhere in the deepest part, somewhere in the deepest part, somewhere in the deepest part, somewhere there are stars.
All right, that was a fun thing for us to make together. Bert spent some time here on Friday and we started making that. We were talking about caves and how, you know, kind of we're in the earth here in this space, but also it feels like my sleep space is sort of like a cave, and talking about caves in nature, and Bert spends a lot of time out in nature in various parts of the world, not just here in Tasmania, and just our experience of caves. So that was really the story behind that. Is there anything that you want to say about that, Bert, before we move on?
No, move on.
Move on? Okay. All right, we can come back to it if we want. Is there anything anybody wants to ask at this point before I share another thing with you? Yeah? My toe. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Ooh, I'm intrigued by that. I'd say it's unconscious. I have to hit the switches fairly forcefully, otherwise they don't work. If I just sort of half do it, then it might not actually click. Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually generally quite unconscious of what I do with my body. It's an interesting observation. Thanks for asking that question. I used to put a lot of effort into how I held my body. You know, with the harp, it's so steeped in tradition and correct way and correct posture. And I also am conscious that I used to, you know, I probably still do, but I no longer care, have a facial expression when I played. I particularly used to just frown in concentration. I probably looked like I was in pain when in fact I was really enjoying myself. And I worked really hard to try and remove that and, you know, force a smile onto my face as part of a performance persona. But I've utterly let go of that now. So I just don't even give it a thought and I let my body just do whatever it wants to do. I don't even think about it. I've been experimenting. You'll notice up on the wall here, I've got lots of thoughts and things. I've written hair up there. I've been using my hair as a prop quite a lot just to try and shut out the audience during the day because I'm composing in here all day and it's really quite hard to separate out that performance mentality of I'm giving you a thing. You know, there's people in here coming and going all the time, but when I'm composing, it's really got to not be about what's happening out there. It's completely inward focused. So yeah, that's something I'm aware of that I'm doing with my body. But yeah, the toe, I'll have to give that some thought. Yeah, I don't really think about my feet very much. I mean, they're a functional item of my body because the harp has pedals. So the way the pedals on the harp are responsible for adjusting the pitch of the strings. So every string has 3 different notes it can be depending on where the corresponding pedal is. But then also, obviously, I've got all these pedals as well. So my feet are just kind of busy. They're like other hands. So they're just doing their thing. But I shall observe that more closely. A good question, thanks. All right, I'd like to share with you a composition I made yesterday. And I was thinking a bit about lullabies and sleep songs and thinking about how in the past, something I've tried which has helped a little bit with my sleep is sort of having, you know, going through a list of things that regularly worry me in my sleep and just reassuring myself that it's okay, I'm safe. My children are in their beds. They're not about to die. So I have a very strong recurring dream that something catastrophic's about to happen to one of my kids. And I'm normally trying to jump out of bed screaming, trying to save them. So just reassuring myself, they're okay, they're safe, you know, blah, blah, blah. Just reassure myself. And I thought, well, okay, maybe I need to lean into that a little bit more and write a song around preparing for sleep and an intention of, you know, a reassurance of peace, calm, comfort and safety. So that's what this is. I had a lovely time with this yesterday. I think I played it for about 4 hours. It was great. I have no idea what anybody else thought of it and I don't really care, but I had a great time. I was just, yeah, working with it and writing stuff on the wall and really in the zone with it. So yeah, I'm going to call it Safe in My Head. to a place I'm going now. I'm going now to escape. Traveling, it is my choice, there is no fear. I'm going now to explore. I choose to be here. I will be safe, I will be warm, I will feel, I will know I'll be safe. I'll be safe from harm. I'll be safe from harm. I can control where I go. It is my choice. I choose my path. I can know the way. I'll turn away if I want. I'll change the way if I want. I can choose to walk away if I want. It's only real inside my head. I am safe, I am safe, I am safe in my bed. I'm safe in my head. Safe in my head. Safe in my head. I actually played that last night as I was going to sleep, and I sang it in bed, sort of willing it to happen. And then I kept the sound bed playing actually through the night. Although it was an interesting observation, it's the first night I've had music playing during the night, and although I enjoyed the sound of that, I felt uneasy that I couldn't hear the other sounds. So there's quite a lot of noises that happen here at night, machine hums, creaks and groans and drips and all sorts of weird sounds that happen. And I feel like if I can't hear them, I can't feel reassured that I'm safe. You know how you want to get your measure of what's around you, and without being able to hear that, it felt uncomfortable. So that was interesting. I don't think I will do it again, but maybe I will play the song before I go to bed and then just stop it and see what happens. So there you go. Anything anybody wants to ask or discuss at this point? Bless you. No? Okay. If you want to talk to me afterwards, do please feel free. Some of the best moments I've had here have been just discussions with people and hearing their stories about sleep or about fear or about being alone, about how things feel scarier at night. All of those things. Okay. Just a quick eye on the time. I think maybe 2 more songs. I'd like to share with you, I'm enjoying playing my favourite song, and those who have been here on other days. I'm getting well sick of this by now, but I don't mind. This is a song that I wrote years ago, and it's called Awaken. And I just love playing it. It really kind of fills my cup. So I've been enjoying sharing it in the concert. It's nice to share the things that I've made here, but it's also really nice just to like bathe in something that is really familiar and comforting to me. So I'd like to play that for you, and then Bert and I are going to do something to round out the end of the performance. Thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate it. It's nice to share something. It makes me laugh, that song. I love that song so much. I just feel really good when I play it, but it's kind of like my banger. I spend a lot of time in my other gigging life, like playing covers. I play covers all the time, you know, when I'm playing at weddings and functions and things. I love arranging songs that I love for harp and voice and whatever. But I'm not doing a lot of them here, but it's really nice to have like clutched onto a song that I just feel I can connect with. And so it feeds me in that same way, which feels really good. Anyway, to round us out, Bert and I are going to do a thing. And we've actually done this before. Hang on, let me turn you on. And to turn the microphone on, I mean.
So to speak, okay.
Hello. Hey, we're both here.
Okay. I would really like to thank Emily for inviting me to get to share this space for a couple of afternoons now. I rolled in on Friday and we basically just mucked around for a few hours. So we didn't do the performance, or Emily did the performance, and I went to the beach. And then I came back today and managed to use... I was very happy to get to use that kalimba, which I bought in a flea market in Seoul the other week. And we were a bit freaky with that the other day, but today I just pressed the G key a bunch of times, so that was nice. But Emily and I have collaborated heaps, actually, over the last few years. I also don't, although one of my long-time collaborators just walked in, but sometimes find it hard to collaborate with tricky people. But Emily and I, somehow we managed to connect, even though we have very different things going on in our lives. So coming in this space and with this subject, and for me, my dream life is actually quite significantly better than my normal life. So much interesting stuff happens in my dream life, and then my day-to-day existence is fairly boring. But I actually wake up laughing sometimes, which is so interesting that you're, to sort of come in.
I wake up screaming and he wakes up laughing. Go figure.
It is an interesting contrast. But then also you have, before when you said, you're a bit of a control freak, and then I tend to be the person who comes in and disrupts things, not deliberately, but just happens to be how I am. And I guess the same, Emily's married, has children, lives in a house. I'm sort of the opposite of those three things. So it's fun working out where we have these meeting points. And you are also a rat bag. It's not like you're the sort of, straighty 180 and I'm the...
I don't know what that means.
You're a rat bag, it.
Okay.
But anyway, we've
managed as a compliment.
Managed to find a... I guess a little narrative that combines some of our interests, and it's got a nocturnal theme, and I guess I should say, it's a completely original poem that I'm going to read, right? So we'll leave you with this piece, which hopefully you'll enjoy. I get up in the evening and I ain't got nothing to say. Come home in the morning feeling the same way. And I'm nothing but tired. I'm just tired and bored with myself. Hey there, baby. I could use just a little help. 'Cause you can't start a fire. Can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Messages keep getting clearer. The radio's on and I'm moving round the place. Check my look in the mirror. Wanna change my clothes, my hair, my face, and I ain't getting nowhere. Just living in a dump like this. Something happening somewhere. I just know there is. Stay on the streets of this town, and they'll carve you up all right. They say, you gotta stay hungry. Oh, I'm just about starving tonight. I'm dying for some action. Sick of sitting around here trying to write this book. I need a love reaction. Come on, baby, give me just one look. 'Cause you can't start a fire sitting around here crying about your broken heart. This gun's for hire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. 'Cause you can't start a fire worrying about your little world falling apart. This gun's for hire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Emily.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Bert. It's been a joy having a collaborator in the space, particularly you. It's been great to share ideas, discussions, explorations, and sound and story. And thanks to everybody for being here today. It's been a good day. Yeah. So thanks. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day at Mona. And if you've got questions or want to come and talk to me, please do. Thanks. I will keep playing as the afternoon goes. This isn't the end for me. I'm here till 5. So I tend to enjoy luxuriating in songs that are just fun for me to play at the end of the day. So if you're keen for that, stick around. All right, thanks.